I'd like to do a couple more problems from 8.2, working with interest. We saw our simple interest formula was interest equals principal times rate times time, and we saw the total amount of money that we have is the principal that we started with plus the interest from before. Then we looked at the compound interest formula, which was the amount of money we have accumulated is equal to the principal times 1 plus r over n raised to the nt, where r was our interest rate divided by n was the number of times we compound our interest per year, and n in the power is the number of times we compound our interest per year, and t is the number of years. If we want to see how much interest we've made, we can find the interest is how much we've accumulated minus how much we started out with. So we'll do example 4 from the book. And you can find this on page 401. And it says, you have seen a home fitness center on sale for $3,500. What really takes the deal attractive is that there's no money down and no payment due for 6 months. Realize that although you do not make any payments, the dealer is not loaning you the money for 6 months for nothing. You have borrowed $3,500, and in 6 months your payments will be based upon that fact. Assuming that your dealer is charging an annual interest rate of 12% compounded monthly, what interest will accumulate on your purchase over the next 6 months? So it tells us the purchase price is $3,500. Tells us the interest rate that we're paying is going to be 12%, or written as a decimal, 0.12. The time is 6 months, but we don't want our units in months, we want it in years. So 6 months is 1/2 of a year. And the question is, how much will we pay? How much interest will accumulate? So how much interest in 1/2 a year? First, we're going to use the compound interest formula to find out how much amount has accumulated, and then we'll use the interest formula to see how much that was in interest. So compound interest says 3,500 times 1 plus our interest rate divided by the number of times per year this compounds. And it says that we are compounding monthly, so we'll add that to our list. N is the number of times we compound per year, so N is 12. So up in the power, we have 12 times 1/2. If you want to, you can think of that power as the total number of times that our interest has compounded. So 12 times 1/2 is 6. That makes sense because we waited 6 months before we paid any money on our purchase. Using our order of operations, we have 3,500 times 1 plus 0.12 divided by 12 is 0.01 raised to the 6th power. So we have 3,500 times 1.01 to the 6th power. Now you want to do this in your calculator. raised to the 6th power gives us 3,500 times 1.061520 and lots more decimal places. You want to leave that number in your calculator as long as you can so that you don't have to round until the very end. We'd like to round to just pennies after we're done. Our next step is to multiply by 3,500 and the amount of money that our account owes is 37.15 and 3205. Since we're dealing with pennies, we look to the next decimal place and ask, is that 0 to 4 or is it 5 through 9? Since it's 0 through 4, we can just drop those decimal places, and the amount of money we owe is 37.15 and 32 cents. But the question was how much interest accumulates on our bank account or on our loan account. Since our interest is how much our account balance is minus how much our initial item is, we see that the interest is $215.32.